बेड़ा पार उदास मन काहे को करे। तेरा राम जी, तेरा राम जी करेंगे बेड़ा पार उदास मन काहे को करे रे। मेरा राम जी, तेरा राम जी, तेरा राम जी करेंगे बेड़ा पार उदास मन काहे को करे रे। तेरा राम जी, नैया तेरी राम हवाले, लहर लहर हरी आप संभाले, आप संभाले। नैया तेरी राम हवाले, लहर लहर हरी आप संभाले। हरि आप ही उतावे तेरा भार उदास मन काहे को करे रे। तेरा राम जी करेंगे बेड़ा पार उदास मन काहे को करे रे। तेरा राम जी, सहज किनारा मिल जाएगा रे। मिल जाएगा परम सहारा मिल जाएगा। सहज किनारा मिल जाएगा परम सहारा मिल जाएगा। दौरी सौंप के तू देख एक बार उदास मन काहे को करे रे। तेरा राम जी करेंगे बेड़ा पार उदास मन काहे को करे रे। मेरा राम जी, तेरा राम जी, तेरा राम जी, मेरा राम जी।
Sitaram, and welcome to each and every one of you for gathering with us today in prayer, remembrance, and celebration of the life of Mr. Mahadeo Mc Coon. My name is Sarika, and I stand before you not only as the Master of Ceremonies, but as a daughter-in-law of this home, and to our beloved Mr. Mahadeo Mc Coon, whom we are all here to pay our final respect at the Antyeshti Sanskar or final rites ceremony today. With folded hands, we offer our prayers to the Divine Supreme Lord Krishna, to the ancestors, and to all divine forces present. I kindly ask, I know we're in the technology phase, that all your mobile phones be placed on silent and that the ceremony proceed in the spirit of Shraddha, discipline, and collective calm. Dad lived a life grounded in discipline, devotion, and music. As a master of the dolak, his hands carried not just sound, but music offered as prayer and service. And so we begin today's ceremony, and I invite Pandit Vishnu ji to begin the religious proceedings. Pandit ji.
Give them flowers in your hand. बोले वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, सियापति रामचंद्र की जय. Sitaram to one and all, dear devotees, good morning. I am Pandit Visnad Vishnu Maharaj, from all the way Kurupia. And before I start the ceremony, I want to tell you all that myself and the late Mahadeo Mc Coon were very good friends. I know him over 30 years, dear devotees, as friends. And so anytime we meet, we always meet in a good atmosphere. Most of the time, puja, Ramayana, satsang. And a matter of fact, I used to come home here, do puja and satsang. So every time I come here, it's not puja alone. As soon as puja finishes, satsang starts. So dear devotees, I had a good, very, very good relationship with him. As a matter of fact, at the last moment in the hospital, his son called me and said, Baba, and I dropped everything and I was in the hospital doing the Gita for him. So I feel blessed and privileged today to join with you all in performing the Antishti Sanskar for the late Mc Coon, Mahadeo Mc Coon. And dear devotees, he will leave lots of memories for all. And if you look at his name carefully, you see it have the two M. Mahadeo, M. And the third M would be that memories that he would leave for all their devotees. As soon as he reached, as soon as he reached in the temple, in my temple, I would call him right up here and pray and give them the microphone and so on, they would start. I never left him out, time at all. So, God bless. And I want to invite everyone to stand, please. Ki haan jod kar, put your hands together. However you know to pray, you offer that prayer. Give them flowers, please. So we're going to pray. We recite the mantras and then do the sankalp. The sankalp meaning the pledge to Lord Krishna to perform the Antishti Sanskar, which is the rites and rituals for the late Mahadeo Mc Coon. Hari Om Tat Sat Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Yam Brahma Varunindra Rudra Maruta Stravante Debhyastavai Vedai Sanka Parukramo Panishade Gayanti Yam Samaga Dhyana Havastita Targate Namanasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantamna Vidur Sur Surgana Devaya Tashmai Namaha Om Vishnave Namaha Om Vishnave Namaha Om Vishnave Namaha Shantakaram Bhujagashainam Parmanabham Suresham Vishwadharam Gagana Sadrisham Megavarnam Shubhangam Lakshmi Kantam Kamalanainam Yogi Virdhyanagamyam Vande Vishnu Bhavai Haranam Sarvalok Ekanatam Sarvalok Ekanatam Sarvalok Ekanatam Ram Nam Satya hai, Sab Yahi Kat hai. So we're going to start the sankalp and the ceremony. But I appreciate that you take your seat, please. Take your seat. But I would like to ask everyone to be quiet, to join with us. I know how it is in this time, the disease and time. Some people can't stand up too long and all these things. So I want you to be comfortable, We would make the sacrifice here. Huh? Hari Om. So we're going to make the sankalp to perform the Antishti Sanskar. Huh? You take your name when I say, and then take your deceased father name. Huh? Hari Om. Vishnu, Vishnu, Vishnu. Come. Stand up here. Om Vishnu, Vishnu, Vishnu. Srimad Bhagavate Mahapurushasya Vishnuragya Pravartamanasya Gham Sri Brahmanoditya Prahare Sri Svetvaraha Kalpe Saptam Vaivasvatman Mantre Ashrav Vinshantitame Kali Yoge Kali Patham Charane Jambu Dvipe Pholo ke Bharat Varsha Bharat Khande Aryavat Ek Trinidadesh Digomaten Keshri में Mahogany trees Tambu में Bodho Tare Tarupare Samvatsari Unisa Sau Take your name Yajmanamasya Pret namasya asmat pitaji namasya Mahadeo Mc Coon namasya Namaham Visnad Vishnu Maharaj hai Sandala Gotra Brahman Panaham Amuk Yug Shubh Nakshatra Mukrase Mukmase Shubh Lagan Yatha Karan Yatha Yog Sri Om Sri Guruvar में श्री राधा कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान अंत्येष्टि संस्कार कर्मा के लिए महासंकल्पम समर्प्यामि मूताओपतिष्ठताम बोलिए बिंद्रावन बिहारी लाल की जय एवरीबॉडी प्रे नाउ ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो no music please while I do my ceremony I don't want music sorry Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya 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 Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachalo Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagat Guru. Say after me now. Om Sri Krishna Arpan. Put everything by his feet. I just sing with the tabla in my head and the harmonium and everything one time. For how many years? I was 40 years now I'm doing Panditai. And I want to confess that I just do it in a funeral, a kind of different way. I do it kind of sadhana, you know, especially when I do my part. Well, look at how I do after. Prem know how it has go down. So God bless. So I appreciate everything, you know, don't feel I appreciate. But, you know, let me be comfortable too.
Yes, of course.
Good. So, while I recite the mantras, take the lotan, offer water on the body. Take your name, his name. Om Amaka Gotrasya, your name. Amak Pritnamasya. Om Sri Mriti Sthani Jal Snanam Mutao Patishtatam Hari Om Chandan. You put in the chandan from here, pull it down, eh? Raise this a little. Yeah, pull it down. Raise this cap a little. This finger. No, the one with the pointy. Raise the cap a little. Right. Put the chandan and pull it down. Oh, Mamaka Gotrasya, no, you have to buy air something. Amak Gotrasya, Amak Pritnamasya, your name, his name. Mriti Sthani, Iti Chandanam, Mutao, Patish. Let them do it too. Show them. Iti Chandanam, Mutao, Patishtam. No, only here. Just show them for me, please. It is mentioned in the 8th chapter of Garud Puran, the Lord Vishnu was saying to Garuji, because he asked the question, that when a person dies, what is the best thing one should do? And then Bhagwan, Vishnu says, that the best thing one could do, and the greatest thing, is to chant my name. So we're going to do Mahamantra. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Everybody. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Vadimala. Om Yam Dware Mahaghorindaram Tam Savriti Tatpalu Kandar Jambudi Pitao Prishatam Hari Om, यार बस इतना है वो टेका सीजर कर दे दो बस दी माला नोफा Om Amaka Gotrasya. Right. Your name, his name. Amaka Gotrasya, Amaka Paritnamasya. Ki iti Pushpamala. Mutavu Patishtatam. Amaka Gotrasya. Amaka Paritnamasya. Savanimit. Om Sri. Iti Pushpamala. Mutao Patishtatam. So we'll continue with the chant. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Amuk Gotrasya, Amuk Pretnamasya, Iti Pushpamala, Mutao Prishtam, Amuk Gotrasya, Amuk Pretnamasya, Iti Gandham, Mutao Patishtatam. Hari Om. The reason why when we're doing the Mahamantra, you have to know how to chant Mahamantra. Sri Ramchandra came 12 o'clock in the day. All you know that. Ramchandra is 12 o'clock in the day. The reason why he came 12 o'clock in the day is to govern the 12 hours in the day. It is called Shukla Paksh, according to Patra. Is that not true? Right? Lord Krishna came Adhi Raat mein, which is 12 o'clock in the night. The reason why he came 12 o'clock in the night is to govern the 12 hours in the night. 12 and 12? 24. 24 hours govern the day. So when you chant the Mahamantra, dear devotees, it's complete. But you must use the both, half and half. Because the whole is divided in half and half. Half daylight, half night. 12 and 12. So we're going again. No, out there. Om Amaka Gotrasya Amuk Pritnamasya Pritatvanivantam Sargati Vinashantam Sargati Hari Om Iti Dipodam Yam Dware Mahagore. Yeah, start from here. Om. All of them had to come behind him. Another touch hands. He had to lead. Yeah, go ahead. Om. Yam Dware Mahagore. You had to go around the box. Take your time. Take your time. Yam Dware Mahagore. Andinath Masavrite Tattvalokadardhe Jamudipe Mutavo Patishtatamiti Dipodanam. 5. That is one. You check it. Om Prapana Parijata Yatotra Vetraikapani Gyan Mundraya Krishnaya Gitamridyohe Namaha Sri Pritnamasya Iti Dipodanam Mutavo Patishtatam. Om Gita Shastramidam Punyamya Pate Pate Paman Vishnu Paramapnoti Vaisokari Varjita Gita Dhyani Silasya Pranayam Pamarasya Chanaiva Shanti Papni Purva Janma Kritani Cha Malani Murchanam Pumsam Jal Snanam Dinedi Sakri Vitam Vasisnanam Sansad Malanashanam Gita Sugita Kartapya Kimani Shastra Vishraya Yaswam Parmana Bhasyam Puram Diniskitam Bharatam Rasvarusham Vishnu Pradiniskitam Om Amagotrasya Pretasya Iti Dipodanam Muta O Parishatam Om Om Vasoha Pavitramasi Shadharam Vaso Pavitramasi Sahasradharamasi Om Dev Avasyasi Om Savita Punato Vasoha Pavitramah Shatadharina Ke Sutavaham Kama Chukshaha Om Vasu Namaha Om Preta Iti Dipodanam Iti Mutao Patishtatam Bolivindra Bihari Lal Ki Jai Sri Satya Sanatan Dharma Ki Jai Hari Om Tat Sat. You gotta hold this mic for me. So I want to invite everyone now with a special bhajan dedicated to Lord Krishna on behalf of the deceased. Now we're going to beg Lord Krishna today as we gather here, O Lord, in your name to perform the Antishti Sanskar, which is the rites and rituals for the deceased, of course. It is also called Antim Sanskar. Antim means the last Sanskar that we perform for the elements in the body. To Shanti Kare, bring peace for how long he was dwelling in this world. Also, just now we pray and beg Mother Earth and so. So this Antishti Sanskar represents that of detachment. While he was living on the earth, dear devotees, he attached to this body, he attached to the family, he attached to the whole place, everything that goes with it. And plenty of people don't know this, but I'm going to tell you. Everybody in this world must prepare for death because we cannot avoid it. And when I say prepare, live good. Live as our humans are supposed to live. Human qualities is great qualities. According to the Ramayana, 84 lakh mein, offer the 8 million, offer the 8,400,000 life force creation, human body is the highest. So as long as you're born as a human, you're special. You see? That the human body is a divine body. Tell anybody this Baba said that. I can prove it to you, maybe not today. But if you want, I can give you short. But at this time, we're going to start with the bhajan. Everybody, if all know the bhajan, all can sing too. Hari Om Mukam Karoti Vachalam Bangunam Dhayate Girim Yakipatamaham Bande Parmananda Madhavam. Open it for me, please. Sri Krishna Chandra Maharaja Prabhu Binate Tane Suniye Suniye Sab koi ke Sri Krishna Chandra Maharaja Prabhu Binate Tane Suniye Suniye जिनके कुछ है अवलंबन ही तिनके चरण रखिए रखिए श्री कृष्ण चंद्र महाराज प्रभु बिनते तने सुनिए सुनिए इसके अवगुण बहुतेरे हैं यही बार क्षमा करिए करिए यही बार क्षमा करिए करिए. We prayed, we singing in this form, we bhajan and we begging the Lord, Sri Krishna Bhagwan, on behalf of the deceased. If at some point in time he probably performed action that were not so good, we beg, O Lord, your mercies, forgive him for his shortcomings. Dina Dayala Pita Tumahi Nijadham Iske Chahiye Chahiye Sri Krishna Chandra Maharaja Prabhu Binate Tane Soniye Soniye मोक्षा दया बिना होता नहीं चाहे कोटि प्रबंध करिए करिए श्री कृष्ण चंद्र महाराज प्रभु बिनते तने सुनिए सुनिए. Today we pray and ask the Lord Bhagwan, for you are the master and the creator of all it comprises. You know, everyone past, present, and future. We pray hard over and over for the moksha, which is liberation of the soul. मोक्ष प्राप्त के लिए भगवान इस जीवात्मा को मोक्ष प्राप्त के लिए भवसागर धार बहुते गहरी कोई नाव वहाँ चाहिए चाहिए. For crossing the Bhavasagar, which is the ocean of life, with the human body, it is not an easy one. Just as if you have to cross the ocean, you need a boat, but you would have many problems crossing with the boat also, much more if you have to swim across. In this context, crossing the ocean of life, the name of the Lord serves as the boat. And it is said, dear devotees, if you walk on the journey of life alone, remember Bhavasagar is the ocean of life, then sorry, without a boat, you're in trouble. So everyone seek that boat, which is the name of the Lord, to take us across the ocean of life. Yahamri takajev kusudhar gati nijadasabana ganiye ganiye. First mentioned the devotees in Bhagavad Gita. The Jeev is not the body, Jeev is the soul, the life force. And Bhagavan Krishna tells Arjuna, he said, fear not. He said, live life good, stand up for the right thing, find the righteous walk. Why? He says, chapter 2, verse 20, Na jayate mriteva karachit na yam bhutava bhavitana bhuyaha ajo nitya shashvato yam purano na hanyate hanyamane sarire. Wo Atman janmata nahi hai. The soul does not born. Today we are celebrating the life of the late Mc Coon, but dear devotee, also, all that we are doing is to detach the individual from everything in this world. Even from the family and everything he have detached, because you have to leave to go on this journey. You have a different traveling to do. The longest traveling that you're going to do in your life is when you're dead. And if nobody never tell you, I'm telling you, you have to travel for a whole year. And you have 16 cities you have to visit. Yeah. It has nothing here. But I'm not here to really explain that part, dear devotees. I just give you a little so that you'll be able to understand. So we're here to really perform the Anteshti, which is the rite and rituals, performing rites and rituals, to detach the late Mc Coon. Because he has to detach to leave. Otherwise we would have many problems. And plenty of people don't know how dangerous that thing they call attachment is. What we must do in this world is we must perform duties. It is very important that you perform your duties. So said Lord Krishna to Arjuna. Perform your duties. For one day, ek din hame vijana hai, jag chala jata hai, sara isake. What's going to happen one day? Evidence right in front of your eyes here. How much things that he performed, you would hear just now from the different who gave him speeches and so. You would hear how his life was and what he did. But regardless of what you may think belongs to you, or belongs to me, the time would come where we'd have to give everything up, give up every single thing. So dear devotees, remember that we, not of the body, we of the soul. Remember that the soul does not born, nor does it die. I'll the next part tell you before I finish the bhajan. Say, well, what is the soul? How good is the soul? Nainam chindati shashtani, nainam dahati pavakaha, na chaydam nikilantyapo, na sochati marutaha. Fire can't burn the soul, water can't burn it, air can't dry it up. Whatever weapon one could design can't destroy it. Neither it's energy in any form could destroy the soul. So you and I are superior to everything in this world that we think that is so forceful and powerful. We have what it takes. This is why you have to take time off for satsang. I ain't telling you by guessing it. 40 years now I did Panditai. 40. And running temples since then, the devotees. So I know how it is like. And you talk about excuse. I could give you a excuse until they get old. Because I keep hearing them. And I reach so far in the temple and say, I want a little make an excuse to hurry. But I want to let my people help it in the excuse, because I don't know how to make an excuse for God. I don't know. Most of the time, excuses are the lie when you're making up something. And most people say are sick, and based on the excuse. Don't call sickness on yourself, because every song carries a vibration. So to close the bhajan, it says, Koi brata tumhar kare binati, Odaya Bhagavan, Kariye, Kariye. Today we begging the Lord for behalf of the deceased. Oh Lord, you knows him. You knows everything about him. He knows his past, present, future. And we pray over and over for the jeev, the soul. Daya Kiji Bhagwan. One of the Lord's name is Daya Sagar, meaning he's the ocean of mercies. Sri Krishna Chandra Maharaj Prabhu Binati Tani Suniye Suniye. He is Sarva Shaktiman. He is Sachitanand. Over and over we pray. Dear devotees for the soul. Today I stand up here like a stranger, but the closeness between me and the deceased is very good. He was like one of my brother. We always had good, neutral understanding, dear devotees in life. So may God bless his soul. Ram Nam Satya Hai, Sabhi Hi Kate. Offer the flowers. So I have a little part I want to say about him. A little sermon rather, dear devotees. Plenty of people does not know this. I always try to preach things that I study and that could bring relief and help to all. Take flowers. Sir. There is something that people doesn't pay attention to, but you must pay attention, which is called karma. I observe as soon as the body was coming, the dead body, of course, we get a little drizzle. You observe that? I called prime attention one time. We didn't get rain, you know. We get a little drizzle and it stopped. So the Devata is happy with the deceased. It is said, dear devotees, we may not be able to see our shadow here because of we're not in the glare. If you will open where you have the glare, the sunlight, and so you would then see your shadow. You'd have no action that one could perform in this world that it does not register. You cannot tell your shadow, don't follow me. I don't want to see you around me. And leave me alone. That's how some people may say. I want to be alone. Well, you're not alone. Your shadow goes with you, which is your karma. Even when you're dead, tell anybody I say that. Your karma goes with you. In the Bhagavad Gita 7th chapter, where Bhagavan Krishna was explaining to Arjuna, that this body may cover 5 elements, and the 5 elements is 100% divinity. And this is why I tell you, you have a divine body. We have a divine body, so to speak. If you were to analyze it, you would observe fire, divine consciousness, Gangama, divine consciousness, Mother Earth, right? Vayu, which is the wind, and energy come direct from the feet of God. This body is made up of that 5 elements. And when something goes with you when you're dead, which is karma, in the form of what? Man, Chit, Ahankar. Man means the mind. Some people tend to believe when you're dead, you're done. And because the deceased wouldn't come back and tell you, well, I was here in this form and all these things and what happened and what transpired. But we do have scriptures telling you these things. Just like you go to buy a vehicle. You go to buy a vehicle, and if they don't have a manual in that vehicle telling you about it, something wrong, something underhand passing. Because if something happened to the vehicle, you must know how to fix it in order to continue, otherwise it loses value automatically. That's not true. When Bhagavan Sri Ramchandra came on the earth, he gave a manual for us, which is the Ramcharitramanas, which is the Ramayana. When Bhagavan Krishna came, which is two major avatars, they have 24 avatars, 24 avatars. And how much hours we have in the day? 24. Every hour of the day, Bhagavan take avatar. Anyway, nothing that. I'm talking about this one. Right? So it is said, dear devotees, we must be, we must be able to understand them. Sometimes people say, where's God? Which part? Show him now. But which you right through? What if Bhajan says, Sita Ram, Sita Ram, Sita Ram? Kahiye. Jahi vidhi rakhe Ram, tahi vidhi rakhiye. मुख में हो राम नाम राम से सेवा हाथ में तू अकेला नहीं प्यारे राम तेरा साथ में You don't look for God, man. God is with you. अपने हृदय में साक्षी रूप में रहते हैं कहाँ है भगवान? Don't do like the deer in the forest, their devotees. The deer have that sweet kasturi in his body, but he still roam the whole of the forest in search of that kasturi. We have God right here, Hriday mein, in our heart. We're still looking for him. You can't recognize him? Such baat. मुझको कहाँ ढूंढो बनले मैं तो तेरे पास है. You go looking for God, भगवान अपने हृदय में साक्षी रूप में रहते हैं. Silent witness right in your heart. So man means your mind, that you knows everything. And I can give you right now, dear devotees, I won't keep holding you back at all. Chit means consciousness, and ahankar means egoism. So we are responsible for our action. So when you're there, dear devotees, you have to pay for karma or enjoy good karma, not only pay for the not so good ones. Many a time we focus and we ponder only upon the wrong things rather than the good things. And this is how we continue to do wrong. Think about the good things in life, dear devotees. That vibration will be traveling throughout. So, dear devotees, right now, the late Mc Coon, seeing everybody here. Because he's in the form of a priest, according to Garuda Puran, 1st chapter and 10th chapter. Yeah. Sutram Sariri, yeah. Form of a priest. And it is said, right now, he's seen everything, but he don't know everything. Let me prove it. If when I talking and I cannot prove what I say, and don't listen to me. I give you all the rights not to listen. If you find what I say don't make sense. But listen to this. When you go to sleep, you became unconscious. Is that true? But generally speaking, something happens when you go to sleep. Not every night will happen, but sometimes you get a dream, right? You're going good. Dream. And the dream appears to be kind of real. That's not true. Only when the dream over, your eyes open, you then realize that this was a dream. And you're sleeping in the same bed, and in the same house, same place, the same whatever. Right now, the late Mc Coon is in that deep sleep. It's called deep sleep. I didn't get this in one book, You have to read scriptures, pray, know that. Get these kind of facts. So he's seeing everything. He's listening. He's seeing everybody playing music, this one, that. He's seen his photo. He's seen everything. He's seen his body lying down here and all. But he can't recollect what's going on. Because it's a dream. Right? Deep sleep. Death is deep sleep. You want to know where you're going to eat ahead? But different scriptures tell you different things. Christian people tell you different things, Muslims tell you different things, Hindus tell you. That's not true. But I don't quote nobody. I quote direct from the scriptures. Because I'm a pundit. And I'm supposed to study my scriptures every day. And the little time I have, this is my vice. Right? Plenty of people get hooked with vice, you know. There's a book by the name of Vishnu Smriti. And the two questions Mother Lakshmi asked Vishnu Bhagwan. The first, I must show you the book. They did like a little scrapping with my Ajawa and give my father, and my father had it. And one day I said, what is this book about? No cover, nothing. Cockroach eat out some too. And Lakshmi Mata asked Lord Vishnu, what is the worst difficulty, problem, and sickness? Everything you put together could happen to a human in Kal Yuga age. And Lord Vishnu says that the worst problem that a human could have, could shorten their life in a short space of time, is worries. So, and I could tell you this much, that you have no cure for worries. Unless you surrender to the Lord and Master and give it up, give it up. We hold on too much to this and that. So she asked, she said, tell me the next one. I want to know the next one. He said, the next one is vice. Worries and vice could carry you right down from up here, carry you right down to zero. How many people hold on to worries? I feel it has some people worry because they don't have worries. But everything for them is a problem. What about the solution, Mamu? What about you not focus more on the solution rather than the problem? And vice? Oh, Ram, Ram. Sitaram. How do old people say? Duniya khama chale lo, duniya tumhari hai, ye duniya tumhari hai. They want the world. Run down the world. Senses of life. Oh, I'm happy. But you have to take a substance to reach there. If an individual could enjoy life sober, that individual is very much conscious about himself and God and duties in life. But anytime you hear you get hooked, there are booties, and either alcohol, or drugs, or whatever. There are other things. You're in rare trouble. This is why I love satsang, you know. I tell you, I don't make joke, I love satsang. Sometimes I carry satsang by myself. There's nobody around, I read my book. Learn, teach myself and learn. So you're responsible for your action, and you must pay for it. So man come in, man, right? You must be conscious. Ahankar, egoism, all the wrong things you must be. So don't feel when you're dead, you're done. Bhagwan Krishna said that the soul is not born, nor does it die. In the spiritual world, the late Mc Coon is still alive. Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. So you have to understand what dies. And I was shocked to hear this now. Just now when we reach to the cremation site, we'll make 5 stops. Huh? And the first stop, Om Akash Tattva Shanti. Shanti kare the elements, energy. Huh? Om Prithvi Tattva Shanti, Dharani, the earth, the body is comprised of these things I call in it. The 5 Bhagya, Tattva mein. 5 Tattva mein is Bhagya mein. Huh? Om Vayu Tattva Shanti. Huh? Om Agni Tattva Shanti. Om Jal Tattva Shanti. So we Shanti kare the 5 elements that this body is comprised of. So all of those stray, please. Don't stray. Will I get any point now? Don't stray. So the facts remain that the elements which comprise of this body, we send it back to its source. Fire back to fire. Water back to water. Earth back to earth. The air back to air. And energy back to energy. And if the person died in Panchak, we shanti that to Panchak Shanti. So in your mind, if the element goes back to their respective places, and Bhagavan Krishna said, don't forget this in your life. And Bhagavan Krishna says that the soul does not born, nor does it die. Now you tell me, because I want to learn, what dies? This is the question to all here. What dies? Anybody? Nothing dies. Nothing dies. Death is only an exchange from one body to the other. Bhagavan Krishna says, the soul does not remain 1 second without a body. That is not true. Who studies scriptures? I ask you. When the soul leaves this body, it goes into another body. You just mentioned Shukram Kirsadid, size of a thumb. So what are we doing here today? You see, we surrender in to the Master, who is responsible for everything, who is God as we know. And we pray for the soul, the jeev of the late Mc Coon. And we ask it God in our own way because we're still alive. And we perform the rites and rituals to shanti the elements that he was attached to in this body. And we try hard to see that if we could bring peace to his soul. Why? Because of the attachment, the way he attached to the elements, attached to the home, attached to the family, attached to everyone. And if you have finance attached to the handaulat, they are devotees. This is not a joke I'm preaching here. No. This is the truth. So life is what? What is life? Life is rather a spiritual one, not a material one. For the great bhajan says, Ek din hame bhi jana hai, जग चला जाता है सारा इसका कौन ठिकाना है एक दिन हमें भी जाना है एक is one, din is day, hame is we, and jana is to go. One day, we'll have to give up every single thing and leave this earthly planet and go back. Try to see if we can reach back where we come from. So, the bottom line is that this world and this body is not real. Another bhajan says, Jhota janam gavaya sadhu, Jhota janam gavaya sadhu, Jhota janam gavaya. It's a reminder for us, for all, that this body we have here is not real. What shoot kara hai, it's temporary. Another bhajan tell you, आए भी अकेला जाए भी अकेला दो दिन की जिंदगी है दो दिन का मेला. I question that, as I found it. You know why I question it? What about the child born as the child born, the child dead? So that the child come for the hello? The child come for the child probably come for a few minutes or hour or 2 hours. But generally speaking, we're born one day and we're going to die the next day, die the 2 days. There are so many things in this world, this life, dear devotees, that when you dive down in scriptures and you start to read, only then, the darkness will remove and only light will come, which is knowledge. There are two things cannot remain one place at the same time, which is light and darkness. It's either you have light or you have darkness. That's not true. But listen to this one. It only take one to remove the other. Darkness cannot remove light. It takes light to remove darkness. That's not true. Light means knowledge, darkness means ignorance. A sadhu told me this once. He said, Baba, where does see with? I said, easy question like that, right? That too easy? Ask me a more difficult than another one. He said, no, I'm asking you a question. I mean, I know finish everybody in satsang. I'm going to sit down to eat. Sadhu, you know, if I'm on road, you can't. I see boy in my eyes. He said, think again. He said, yeah, you're well preached with knowledge, they're too bad, you know. But I asked you a simple question. And I'm asking you all the same question. What do we see with? Oh, they are taking so long to answer it. Prem, stay quiet. Okay. Let me educate you a little. You're on your bed, sleeping. About 12 o'clock in the night, current cut off. You want to do your numbers or some way. You understand what I mean? Something you want to do, you have to get up from the bed. You may have to go to the washroom. But you don't have a form of light nowhere around you. Light in no form around you, right? And when you get up, you're feeling, right? You're bouncing your foot. You might bounce your head, might fall down too. In your own home that you're living for how long? So what do we see with? Prem just give the answer, you know. We see with light. Everybody have blind eyes, including me. Without light, we cannot see. The next question, what do you see? Hello? What do we see? I see I included myself. What do we see? We see everybody and everything. We make comments. We find faults. We draw a line. This one ain't good. That ain't good. La, la, la. But if you have to look at your face, what you have to look into? For what? Reflection. Or listen carefully. We could take our eyes and see everyone and everything in this world and find fault, whatever, whatever. But if you have to see your face, you have to look into a mirror for reflection. You cannot see your face without that. What is the reflection in this world? The reflection, you must take that personal inventory in your life and get to know you, get to know yourself. It had plenty of people born, grow up in this world, live. Some of them get old, time to dead. And they take no time off to get to know themselves. But they know everybody, mostly everything. And they could quote Mamo. There she go. There she go. What about their devotees? That you never in your life look into a mirror. That's kind of impossible, eh? That you would know how you're looking. If you didn't take that personal inventory in your life, you wouldn't know yourself. And the first thing in this world you get to know is yourself. You must get to know yourself. Because if you don't know you wouldn't know me. You can't know nothing and nobody. That is Uttam Gyan. That is divine knowledge. You know, you see in funeral, that's the time people listen a little bit, you know. Yeah. Even in satsang, sometimes you go, they carry on their own katha. Sometimes when I go to the Bhandara, the person will say, Baba, we go to the Shah downstairs and we're doing the Gita Path. So I say, all right, you give them license downstairs to recite all the negative things that could stay in your home. Plenty of people don't understand this, you know. Somebody will get mad with me, will get mad. I must engage you so that you will learn, teach you. When you go to school, the teacher segregate you and say, you go out, and you go so. Everybody must receive the blessings. We busting belongs upstairs doing Gita. And a big katha going on downstairs here. Panchayat. All kind of things taking place. What kind of vibration? Every song carries a vibration, if you don't know, I'm teaching you. There are two types of vibration in this earth, which is positive vibration and negative. Which one you engage in your life? Which one you taking part in? You're responsible for you, you know. Nobody else is responsible for you, you know. We see wife that's dead and leave husband, husband dead and leave wife, children that's dead and leave parents. Well, we've seen about children like they're going before their parents now. Sometimes the parents depending on children to do things for them like, oh God, Bap. And the child dead before you, what's your position? There are places I go to do things and sometimes they own, so I want to come and pray here today. Sometimes they own, I want to do it, you're a stranger. And the last thing I tell a man, I say, boy, I wouldn't shake my head to do your rites, but I could do it for you. Right? If you have nobody to do it, I could do it. And the book said that. That's in the book. That the Baba could do the rites and rituals for you. I don't read and joke, you know. What I tell you, I could quote and tell you which part in the Garul Puran you get all these things. You could do your shroud before you're dead too. It's called Antim Sanskar. But remember, when you sit down and you do your Antim Sanskar, you're dead, you know. Remember that? You can't do no Sanskar again, you know. You can't go and play, you want to sit down there and eat barzar and you're dead. So you have to know the advantage and disadvantage. You understand? And the whole thing you want to understand. So when I explain to people and show them all the facts, they say, no, Baba, I feel I'll get somebody to do it for me. You know? Now the children bargaining with the parents and all this kind of thing. If you don't give me this and you don't give me that, when you let me, I'm doing nothing for you. But that's not supposed to be so. All I want to hear more? I'll close, you know. It have a bhajan tell you. But it's about a mother and son. Mata putra se pyar किया है जितना कौन करेगा इतना कौन करेगा इतना. There's a love that generates between mother and son that cannot be explained in words because of the opposite sex. But a mother and daughter could relate in length. You understand? But the love that generates between a mother and a son cannot be explained in words. A mother always wants to see what his son will come out, what his son would be, because it's he who carried the lineage. How you come in this world? How we come in this world? You fall from a mango tree, or a coconut tree, or a breadfruit tree? Which one? Here how you come. No mehne u dhar mein rakha jab duniya mein aaya. The child feeds on the mother, not only the boy, singing about the boy. The child feeds on the mother for 9 months. Everything the mother eat, drink, everything, child feeding. The child don't drink through the mouth or listen through the air. The child, everything through a biblical cord. Do you have any idea about that? And when the child born, somebody called. This is where you come from, man. When I say man, man and woman is one, because the soul is neither masculine or feminine. It's just different duties. That's all. You owe it to your mother. The first relationship that you have in your life is with your, well, I want to say it. People just talk about relationship, and this one comes first, and that one, and that one. The first relationship you have in your life is with your mother. This is not a joke, I'm telling you. Do not turn your back. If you turn your back from your parents, your mother, and your father, you turn your back from God. It is said, when the child born, the child can't take care of itself. सर्दी लगे कि चादर उठाकर stand दूध पिलाया. The mother had to take care of the child, clean the child, bathe the child, whatever. And nurse the child, stand दूध पिलाया. माता पुत्र से प्यार किया है जितना कौन करेगा इतना. Who dare could explain the love that generates? But the sad reality is, when the child gets sick, you feel the mother be well, the mother more sick. Tapak tapak kar sul se rulaya, ga kar shurya bajana. बीमार पर जब वैद्या बुलाकर स्थान औषधि अपान कराया. The child gets sick, mother was sick. The child can't sleep in the night, mother can't sleep, mother tapak tapak, lullaby, had to sing song, all this kind of thing. Child gets sick, doctor must come care of the child. Only when the medicine is given. Child get better, mother more happy, more better. So you feel, mother don't feel sick too. Think about it. But in everybody's life does have a problem. But everybody would have problems. Because this is the age for that. If nobody ever tell you, I'm telling you. I'm not true, Prem? This is the age for problems. Problems became a norm. But they said, like in Sarvan Kumar case, when he got married. I am quoting all you. It says, Jeevan bhai, jab shaadi karna, tab tak prema na jhoote. Mata ki mamata aise bari hai. माता की ममता ऐसे बड़ी है सागर पार है जितना कौन करेगा इतना कौन करेगा इतना माता पुत्र से प्यार किया है जितना कौन करेगा इतना. When the boy got married, जीवन भाई जब शादी करना, he says, that's not the time to forget your mother. जब शादी करना तब तक प्रेम न झूठी. Prem in love. Why? Because mother's love and mother caring, माता की ममता ऐसे बड़ी है, so great and so big. You can't find depth. Sagar abad, sagar means the ocean. Jitna. Just as though you can't find depth in the ocean, so too the mother's love. आशीर्वाद. I want to tell her something again. Although vex with me. You know the easiest thing is to get vexed, you know, and the hardest thing is to get cool. Let me tell you this. I want you to listen carefully. I'm going to close with this. Right? I'm going to close with this one. There's so much that I could tell you all. This is not a joke I'm telling you. And I praise God and give thanks to Him for keeping me good up to now like this, so that I'm able to read from here, to expound for you, so that you'll be able to understand a little. Sometimes people don't understand, especially where death is concerned. Today we see the Hindus branding the modern law. Yeah. They call any modern law? Anybody in the audience? What do they call any modern law? When you have Bhandara and... Who said that? Who said pepper sauce? Or they pass the pepper sauce. Bring the pepper sauce. And it's the modern law, they call it pepper sauce. Oh, bring the modern law. They say, bring the modern law. That's not true? They shake their heads up. Or they do forget, they say. Don't forget. Tell them, Pandit Vishnu say that. Call my name. I could prove it. How you get your husband? It's because of pepper sauce you get your husband. It's because of your mother-in-law you get your husband as your son. Or here the next one. Today, you're a daughter-in-law, and tomorrow you're going to be a pepper sauce. You want to hear more? Listen to this one. You're going to like this one. According to the Anteshti Sanskar, karma that people perform, and the 7th chapter of Garuda Puran, this is how we perform the Anteshti, right? It says when a woman married, a woman do have gotra, lineage. A woman is like mother earth. I'm talking about my mother too. So don't feel a same thing when I'm tell you, right? I could clear myself from here to heaven. I know about hell, eh? Listen to this one. If you want to check a DNA to find out if that child is yours, who blood you're going to check? I'm not a medical doctor, eh? But I study the science of yoga. Who blood you're going to check? The father blood and the child blood. That's not true. It's the father that carried the beach, the seed. Just like you plant any seed that you plant on the earth, that is what the mother was going to bring up. I hope all are following me, you know. So when you're dead now, because we're dealing with funeral here, right? When you're dead, and you reach Yamlok, you know who waiting to clear you there? Pepper sauce. Your mother-in-law waiting, just like when you're married and she go and take the avity, welcome the Lakshmi in the home. I don't know what I'm talking about. So too, when you're doing this trial and you're cutting the pillars when she dead and all this kind of thing, is that what? Pita Mahi Namasya. Pita Mahi mean your mother-in-law, the person who died. Prapita Mahi, Prapita Mahi. And then you sanction everything. Ganga, Jamuna, Saraswati, Ram, Rupasya, Swarup, Abhi. I had to open the book to tell you all them things. Because I was studying it for years. So if you want to discard your mother-in-law here, and you bias, so to speak, when you're dead, your mother-in-law waiting for you in the name of pepper sauce. Believe it or not, I didn't write scriptures. I read, and this I'm explaining to you. Try and keep a good relationship now. So when you're married, you go on that side. She's like your mother. Mataji, oh God, I know it is. Even though a little mistake, well, let me make it up now. It's a sad reality, but hate is a heavy, heavy load. But love, oh, is sweet, light, fragrant. Which one you prefer? One you can sleep and snore, and the other one you roll on the bed from corner to corner. Which one you prefer? Life is not what it appears to be, dear devotees. Always remember that. Regardless of how you live or whatever you may do in life, the time would come when you would have to give it up. Don't dedicate pahunai jakatame maya me bharamaya. 2 days we come in this world and we run down the maya, which is the illusion. Dhan dhaulat me kachukamana ave chuti jave yaha kaya. The day would come, all you feel is yours, including this body, you would have to give it up. This world is not real, but God is real. This body is not real, but the Atma, the soul is real. So what we must engage in? Satasanga ke Ganga wahi hai, komal jise ka dhara. We must engage in satsang. For satsang is real. Because it carries the name of the Lord. Vibration that travels. Satasanga ke Ganga wahi hai is like the river, like the Ganga, that you would drink and wash away all your sins. Like drinking through the air. What you could drink through your air, you cannot drink through your mouth. And what you could drink through your mouth, you cannot drink through your air. Think about it. There's only 2 organs we have in the human body that we absorb. Right now you're absorbing. No man is a funeral. You're drinking through your air. Hari Katha, knowledge, Gyan. Satasanga ke Ganga wahi hai, komal jase ka dhara. Just as the thirsty and you drink water, it quenches the thirst. Komal jase ka dhara, and give you that santosh, which is contentment, satisfying feeling, so to speak. But what we do with water again? Kara sanan bhimal kar khaya, kara sanan bhimal kar kaya, papina par karaya sadhu, jhota janam gavaya. Do bedna and see if you could sleep. Every day you have to take your bath, if it's once a day yourself. So when you bathe, you wash away the muck. You wash out all the muck from your body, so to speak. But the satsang, when you drink through the air, you wash away all the sin. Papina parkaraya. And that is what we have to engage our life in, dear devotees. Be real. Whatever may transpire in life, everything in this world has changed. We see the mango tree, throw all the old leaves and take new one. Is that not true? Even though fruit comes from the mango tree, the time does come when all the fruit is dropped out. Either you take part of it, you eat, or you throw it, or whatever, whatever. All habits must be dropped, just like the fruits. All leaves must be dropped. Things that is not good, you must give it up. And try to practice new ones. 1 ounce of practice with tons of theory. Don't ever forget these little messages in your life. So we say, thank you, Lord. I have one more prayer to recite for guys, from me to the deceased. That would be the closing prayer. It will only take about 2 minutes, right? So at this point in time, God bless. I have to do a little Hawan. You want me to do it one time? No problem. That could be done after. Yes, good. So I'll hand over the mic now. God bless and thanks to the family here that you hear their devotees. If there's one thing, watch my finger, put it up in the air. All you can see? If there's one thing all you'll learn here today, all you'll learn. And you know that? That will bring peace to the soul and peace to my heart and my mind. Dear devotees, God bless. Thank you. Sitaram. We have a little thing to do again, but we will do that. Bindraban Bihari Lal ki Jai, Satya Sanatan Dharma ki Jai. Offer the flowers.
Thank you, Panditji, for sharing in your very special way on lessons from our various scriptures and way of living our lives. I'm sure each one of us can take away at least one nugget from what you have shared with us so that we can uplift our lives in our own homes and our families. Families, colleagues, friends, just before we move on to the tributes, let us engage in a few appropriate bhajans. Dad was not only a musician, he was a devoted Hindu. His faith was lived through action, service, and steady commitment to family and community. His life reflected Dharma in its simplest and most powerful form. On stage, we have Mr. Ramnaresh Badal, a very, very close friend to the family, almost like a brother to all of us. I also have Mr. Kailash Dukran on the tabla. He is actually my god brother. So welcome, Kailash ji. And we have Uncle Haro on the Majira. We will have a couple bhajans and then we would move on to the tributes.
Song check one. भाव भंजन संसार में सब कुछ है हरि नाम चरण कमल पर जय परा अपना लो साई राम साई तेरी याद 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 महा सुखदाई साई तेरी याद महा सुखदाई एक तुम्ही रखवाला जग में एक तुम्ही रखवाला जग में तू ही सदा सहाई तू ही सदा सहाई बाबा तेरी याद महा सुखदाई साई तेरी याद महा सुखदाई सुमिरन बिन मन में अंधियारा, सुमिरन बिन मन में अंधियारा। तूने कृपा बरसाई, तूने कृपा बरसाई। साई तेरी याद महा सुखदाई, साई तेरी याद महा सुखदाई। एक तुम्ही रखवाला जग में, एक तुम्ही रखवाला जग में। तू ही सदा सहाई, तू ही सदा सहाई। साई तेरी याद महा सुखदाई। साचे प्रीत तुम्हारी दाता, साचे प्रीत तुम्हारी दाता। इस जग का ये झूठा नाता, इस जग का सब झूठा नाता। तू शरणन शरनाई, तू शरणन शरनाई। साई तेरी याद महा सुखदाई, साई तेरी याद महा सुखदाई। साई तेरी याद महा सुखदाई। शिव बोले नाम तेरा, जिन्हें का है सहारा। अब तो शरण में ले लो, रो रो के दिल पुकारा। शिव बोले नाम तेरा, जीने का है सहारा। अब तो शरण में ले लो, रो रो के दिल हकारा। शिव बोले नाम तेरा, दुनिया में कोई अपना देता नहीं दिखाई। धीरज तुम्ही तो दोगे, तुमसे लगन लगाई। दुनिया में कोई अपना देता नहीं दिखाई। धीरज तुम्ही दिखाई, धीरज तुम्ही दोगे, तुमसे लगन लगाई। तेरे बिना न होगा अब तुम, अब तो है तुम्हारा। दुनिया में कोई अपना देता नहीं दिखाई। धीरज धीरज तुम्ही तो दोगे, तुमसे लगन लगाई। दुनिया में कोई अपना देता नहीं दिखाई। धीरज तुमसे लगन लगाई। तेरे देने नाम होगा, जीने का है सहारा। अब तो शरण में ले लो कबारा। शिव भोले नाम तेरा, जीने का है सहारा। अब तो शरण में ले लो, रो रो के दिल पुकारा। मेरे जिंदगी के मालिक, मुझे आसरा है तेरा। कोई रास्ता न सूझे, कैसे मिटे अंधेरा। मझधार में पड़ा हूँ, मेरा खो गया किनारा। अब तो शरण में ले लो, रो रो के दिल पुकारा। शिव बोले नाम तेरा, जीने का है सहारा। अब तो शरण में ले लो, रो रो के दिल पुकारा। शिव बोले नाम तेरा। चले उड़ जा रे पंछी, चले उड़ जा रे पंछी की अब दे सब गाना। चले उड़ जा रे पंछी के अब हुआ बेगाना। चले उड़ जा रे पंछी, खत्म हुए दिन उस डाली के जिस पर तेरा बसेरा था। खत्म हुए दिन उस डाली के जिस पर तेरा बसेरा था। आज यहाँ और कल हो यहाँ ये योगी लीला तेरा था। ये तेरी जागीर नहीं थी, ये तेरी जागीर नहीं थी। चार गली का मेला सदा रहा है इस दुनिया में, सदा रहा है इस दुनिया में। किसका काबू दाना, चले उड़ जा रे पंछी की अब ये देश हुआ बेगाना। चले उड़ जा रे पंछी, जा अब तो मस्त हुआ दो उड़ना धाली धाली भूल जा अब तो मस्त हुआ दो उड़ना धाली धाली अब यहाँ की काता बन गई चाल तेरी मतवाली जग की आँख काता बन गई जग की आँख काता बन गई चाल तेरी मतवाली कौन भला उस बात को पूछे कौन भला उस बात को पूछे हो ना किसका माली तेरी किस्मत में लिखा है तेरी किस्मत में लिखा है जीते जी मर जाना चलो उड़ जा रे पंछी की अब ये देश हुआ बेगाना चलो उड़ जा रे पंछी की अब ये देश हुआ बेगाना चलो उड़ जा रे पंछी की अब ये देश हुआ बेगाना
Thank you, Ram Naresh ji. As we now move on to the tributes and reflections, it is my honor to invite our first speaker, Mr. Surajday Mangru. He is the president of the National Council of Indian Culture and a respected cultural leader. He has been involved with the NCIC since 1998 and served as chairman of Diwali Nagar from 1999. He is also the vice president of the Global Indian Organization for the Caribbean region and the Cultural Affairs Chairman of the Hindi Foundation of Trinidad and Tobago. Mr. Mangaru is the Chief Executive Officer of Trinity Insurance Brokers Limited and the Charter President of the Penal Rotary Club. We now invite Mr. Mangaru to share his reflections. Yes, he is the current president of the NCIC.
Thank you very much, Bahurani. Sitaram Namaste. Pandit Vishnu Maharaj, other Pandits, respected elders. Today, we all gathered here as fellow mourners to pay tribute with heavy hearts, but also with deep gratitude to honor the life of the late Sri Mahadeo Mc Coon, a devoted father, a respected musician, a cultural enthusiast, and a cherished pillar of his community. Mahadeo Mc Coon, we'll call Dhulakwala, was a man whose life was shaped by discipline, artistry, and an unwavering love for music. As a gifted and accomplished classical drummer, he dedicated himself fully to his craft. Through years of practice and quiet perseverance, he mastered not only technique, but a deeper spirit of rhythm and tradition. Those who heard him play did not merely hear music. They felt heritage, devotion, and reverence carried through every single beat. For him, music was never just performance. It was identity. It was his prayer, his devotion. It was a way of preserving culture and passing it forward with dignity and pride. He carried himself with humility, allowing his art to speak louder than words. And in doing so, he earned the respect of fellow musicians, students, and all those who crossed his path. As a father, the late Mahadeo Mc Coon led by example. He taught not through force, but through consistency, patience, and integrity. He instilled values of perseverance, humility, and respect, values that will continue to guide his family long after today. His influence extended far beyond his home, shaping young minds, encouraging fellow artists, and strengthening the cultural fabric of the community he so deeply loved. His rhythm spoke of tradition, his silence spoke of wisdom, his life spoke of commitment to family, to culture, and to excellence. While his physical presence may no longer be with us, his legacy lives on through his children, in particular his son, Mahadeo Mc Coon, an executive member of the National Council of Indian Culture and vice chairman of the NCIC Heritage Center, his students, his music, and the countless lives he inspired. In moments like these in the Bhagavad Gita offers us comfort and perspective. Lord Krishna reminds us, chapter 2, verse 20. The soul is never born, as rightfully said by Pandit, nor does it ever die. Having once been, it never ceases to be. Unborn, eternal, everlasting, and ancient, the soul is not destroyed when the body is destroyed. May these words bring us peace as we reflect on a life well lived. Sri Mahadeo Mc Coon has completed his earthly journey, but his spirit, his values, and his music continue to resonate, timeless and undiminished. Our cultural landscape has suffered another blow with his passing. But before I conclude, I would like to, I know Madan is chairing a committee for us, a tribute to the legends, some way, I think towards the end of August, a tribute to the legends. And I would like you to include not only vocalists like Sam Budram and Jameer and Hanif, but also drummer like Mahaja Kalul and your father, Bob Lokai, and so many others. So that's something for you to think about. May these words bring us peace as we reflect on life well lived. The late Mahadeo Mc Coon has completed his earthly journey, but his spirit, his values, and his music continue. I just wanted to remind you of that, to resonate, timeless and undiminished. Our cultural landscape, once again, I want to repeat, has suffered another major blow. Like over the last 2 years, we have had so many losses among the Indian artists of this country. And it's a serious thing. May his soul attain eternal peace. May his legacy continue to inspire. And may we honor him best by carrying forward his harmony, his discipline, and cultural pride that defined his life. And my Ajay Susre Panditji in Bhojpuri and Hindi. Sadana ek phool phulane hai, sadana ek sawan hoi, sadana jiye jagat mein ek din jana hoi. Atma ko sadgati prapt ho, Om Shanti, Jai Sri Krishna. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for the privilege of your attention.
Multitasking. Thank you, Mr. Mangru, for your heartfelt words and contribution this morning as we honor of our beloved father, Mr. Mahadeo Mc Coon. We will now hear another bhajan from the team.
Sitaram, Sitaram, Sitaram kahiye, jahi vidhi rakhe Ram, tahi vidhi rahi. Sitaram, 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 Sitaram kahiye, jahi vidhi rakhe Ram, tahi vidhi rahi. Sitaram, Sitaram. मुख में हो राम नाम, राम से वह हाथ में, मुख में हो राम नाम, राम से वह हाथ में, तू अकेला नहीं प्यारे, राम तेरे साथ में। विधि का विधान जान, विधि का विधान जान, हानि लाभ सही जाहि विधि राखे राम ताहि विधि रहिए सीताराम सीताराम। किया अभिमान तो फिर मान नहीं पाएगा, किया अभिमान तो फिर मान नहीं पाएगा। होगा प्यारे वारी जो श्री राम जी को पाएगा। पल आश त्याग शुभ, पल आश त्याग शुभ, काम करते रहिए जाहि विधि राखे राम ताहि विधि रहिए सीताराम सीताराम। सीताराम कहिए जाहि विधि राखे राम ताहि विधि रहिए सीताराम सीताराम। जिंदगी को दौर सो हाथ दीननाथ के, जिंदगी को दौर सो हाथ दीननाथ के। महलों में राखे चाहे झुपड़ी में बास दे। धन्यवाद निर्विवाद, धन्यवाद निर्विवाद। राम राम कहिए जाहि विधि राखे राम ताहि विधि रहिए सीताराम सीताराम। सीताराम सीताराम। सीताराम कहिए जाहि विधि राखे राम ताहि विधि रहिए सीताराम सीताराम। सीताराम सीताराम। सीताराम सीताराम।
We will now hear a more personal perspective as I invite Dad's only granddaughter to the podium, Miss Nija Devkinanan. Her reflections represent a collective remembrance drawn from the shared experience of the grandchildren and close relatives as they reflect on Dad as a deeply devoted family man.
Everyone. Today we gather with heavy hearts, but with deep gratitude to honor and remember my grandfather. Okay. Today we gather with heavy hearts, but also with deep gratitude to honor and remember my grandfather, a beloved father, grandfather, and guiding light in our family. In moments like these, words feel small, yet they are all we have to express a lifetime of love and sacrifice and blessings. In the Hindu faith, we believe that the soul is eternal, Atma Amar Hai. The body may leave us, but the soul continues its journey. While we mourn his physical absence, we take comfort in knowing that his journey continues, embraced by the divine, free from pain, and united with the universe. Our grandfather was the proud father of 3 children and 5 grandchildren, 4 boys and 1 girl. And each of us was deeply loved in our own way. Our grandfather was the proud father of 3 children. He didn't just watch us grow, he shaped us through his presence, his discipline, his warmth, and his quiet wisdom. He helped from the people He helped form the people we are today. One of the most beautiful things about our grandfather was how he expressed love, not always through words, but through actions. He showed love by being there, by listening, by guiding, by protecting. Just to give an example, he would leave Digger Martin and drive to my home in Tabaquita whenever we had any family events, any challenges, and even just to bust a lime and relax with everyone. These moments may have seemed ordinary at the time, but now they are sacred moments we hold forever. He lived his life rooted in Dharma, doing what was right, even when it was difficult. He believed in honesty, hard work, humility, and devotion to family. These were not just values he spoke about, these were valid values he lived by every single day. He dedicated his life to worship and puja and Ramayana Satsang and enjoyed helping people all over the country. He stood as an example, helping everyone in the neighborhood and stood ready and available in times of need. To his 4 grandsons, he was an example of strength and perseverance, a reminder of what it means to stand firm, to take responsibility, and to protect those you love. To his granddaughter, he was gentle, nurturing, and endlessly loving, a source of comfort and reassurance. He had a unique way of making each of us feel special, yet equally cherished. Some of the memories we hold dearest are the simplest ones. Holding prayers at home and all our family events, having classical singing at home. Simple times like birthdays, anniversaries, Christmas time, and all the events we had and were a part of as a family. These are the moments that reveal the depth of his love, moments that now feel priceless. In Hindu belief, we understand that life is a circle and that every soul carries forward the karma of a life well lived. My grandfather's life was filled with good karma. His kindness, his patience, and selflessness created ripples that will continue through generations. His legacy lives on in his grandchildren, in his children, and all 5 of his grandchildren, in our actions, values, and the way we treat others. Even in challenging times, he carried himself with dignity and calm. He accepted life as it came, and with faith and resilience, trusting God's plan was greater than any hardship. From him, we learn that strength is not loud, it is steady. Today, we remind ourselves of this truth. We were blessed to have known him. We were blessed to have been loved by him. We were blessed to carry his blood, his teachings, and his blessings forward. Papa, we thank you for the sacrifices you made, the love you gave, and the values you instilled in us. We promise to honor your life by living with compassion, integrity, and devotion to family, just as you taught us. May our soul attain moksha, and may your blessings continue to guide and protect us always. You may have left this world, but you will never leave our hearts. You are loved, you are forever loved, and you are forever remembered. Om Sat Sati. Thank you.
Ram Nam Satya Hai. Thank you, Nisha, for sharing your words from the rest of the grandchildren as well. Our final speaker, who will deliver the eulogy, is the son of Mahadeo Mc Coon. None other than Mr. Madan Mc Coon, my husband, right? Madan will offer reflections on his father's life, values, and legacy, sharing insights into his role as a devoted Hindu, a master of the dholak, and the deeply committed family man that he was. Madanji.
Krishnaya Govindaya Namaha. Jai Sitaram. So we're here to pay tribute to Dad. Mahadeo Mc Coon was born on the 23rd of October 1954. He was the youngest of 8 children with 6 sisters and 3 brothers, as far as I'm aware. His parents were Bharat Mc Coon and Bisundaya Mc Coon. And as part of the family trade, Dad was involved in making traditional market baskets in his early ages. This meant going deep into the forest to gather vines and bamboo, shredding of the bamboo by hand, and crafting baskets. We have a video with him shredding the bamboo, actually. Unfortunately, we didn't put it up here. But crafting the baskets and using the techniques of that time to create market baskets. Right? That was the family trade at the time. Often they would spend nights in the forest drinking pots of coffee. Babs? Drinking pots of coffee for what would amount to just a few cents in return when they sell the baskets. It was hard work, honest work, and it shaped the man he became. He came from a strong musical lineage and cultural lineage. His father, Bharat, which you will hear, he himself will say just now. We were fortunate to do an interview before he passed on. His father, Bharat Mc Coon, was an exceptional Huse builder. So, you know, the Huse Muharram that we have in St. James. So he was a Huse builder, as well as someone who dressed tents for weddings. And he was also one of the most legendary Tassamen that lived in this country. Many people don't know that. But we have documented history within our family where we recognize him as one of the legends of the time who would have contributed to the Tassa. So one personal story that Dad told me, and I don't think he told anybody else, was that, you know, his father was playing Tassa one time so powerfully that it shattered glass bottles. Yeah? Tassa movie was big, so I don't know. He said that was the kind of force and the power, you know, that he had, and the presence that he carried. So although Dad was raised in the Tassa tradition, he eventually found his love in dholak. By trade, he was a laborer, simple man, but capable of extraordinary feats and physical work. He did physical demanding work. I remember when we were leveling, we did a lot of work here ourselves. I remember when we were leveling out here, he brought a truckload of, I don't know how to call that, but he brought a truckload of, yeah, what do you call it? Rubble or some kind of thing like that. Backfill. And we did like, you know, in prison time, ponging and chipping away. And, you know. But that was the joy of it. We enjoyed it, you know, we enjoyed being with him, you know. So he was a powerful person, you know, capable of extraordinary physical feats as well too. I remember many times, me as well too, you know, he would go singing in the night, come home 4 o'clock in the morning, bathe and go to work, you know. You know? He was capable of so many things. So I remember him also telling me that his brother who is here, Bolol, Uncle Boise, that 2 of them together, they got a whole mountain together. You know? So they were physically very, very, Uncle Pampam here as well too. Eh? They were physically very, very active. They were always active and involved in so many, many different things. So he was a powerful man. He worked hard to provide for his family, but music was always where his heart lived. Later in life, he became more deeply involved in the dholak, and we see the pictures there. One of those pictures there where he's playing the dholak on this side is actually a program at Republic Bank when I started to work at Republic Bank. I am cropped out of the photo for obvious reasons. So he's playing there at Republic Bank, and this is he's playing Tassa, I believe, at my sister's wedding. So later on in life, as I said, he became more involved, deeply involved in playing dholak. Pandit would know. They have a friendship of probably more than 30 years, 30, 35 years maybe, you know. So he became involved in dholak playing and satsang and all of these things. And his brother, Boise or Bulul, they were very close, and they started to, and Uncle Pampam as well, you know, they started to play dholak amongst themselves and that kind of thing. Be around singing and this kind of thing. And they did it for their enjoyment, not necessarily for entertainment of anybody or for any specific purpose. So their music was never about status or recognition or any of these things that we see happening now. You know, people sing at two bhajan and they want to go on the Nagar stage. Eh? Press? Press laughing. Eh? So this is the thing, you know, they did it for their own enjoyment. Their music was never about status or recognition. It was simply them expressing what they were. There is no way I could explain how that was at that time. You know, if you were there, around in that time, you would understand. You know, I see some familiar faces. Who would know Uncle Tush? We kind of singing we used to have there. And, you know, the kind of things we used to do for a lot of people in the community, you know. So Dad was originally from the Mova area, and he moved to Piti Valley. And especially after the passing of his mother, he started to develop in his spiritual and musical life. And that deepened even more. He became actively involved in Ramayana satsang groups. And while still heavily, he was involved, and he became involved in what we call local classical singing. So for those who don't know what local classical singing is, local classical singing is something that our ancestors brought here. Well, I shouldn't say they brought it here, it evolved here. Right? They took elements of the culture from India and where they belonged in India, and they developed into something totally unique and totally new. Bible, no, we are classical singers, I would say. I consider myself a classical singer. We come from that lineage, right? So he started to get involved in satsang, Ramayana, puja, all of these things. And as he got more involved, either as a dholak player, or he may go to listen or play dhantal or whatever it may be, you know, his life became more enriched. So I remember traveling all over the country as a youth, probably younger than my son. And him and mom and me and whoever else was around. And traveling all across the country, polling, singing home here, classical singing home here. His friendships with people like Uncle Sonny Boy, Uncle Rashid, who I know is listening on the live, Uncle Dodos, who lives in the back there, and Tush, Uncle Tush, who lived, both of them lived, past tense, close by as well. As his journey evolved, he became more serious about dholak and local classical singing in particular. And under the guidance of Ustad Tika Budram and other Ustads as well, and through close association with the late Sukhdev Sukraj, who lived down in the Balata, as you would say, by the Swaha Mandir. His life was on Saturdays and Sundays and every day possible. I would know, I was around. Going to cooking nights and singings all over the country. We talk about Bish, Bokal, all over, south, north, east, west, anywhere. So there's a famous story involving him. That, and who would know, follow classical singing would know. Ram Maharaj and Sukdev Sukraj, one night around 1 o'clock in the morning, they went to singing somewhere in Central. And after first half of the singing, well, you know, long time singing used to be whole night. Right? Cooking night, right? So after going to the singing, they decided to go out on the side of the road and, you know, have a discussion. And while there, they encountered some people, and the people said, police. But this time it wasn't police. It's bandit. Eh? Poor fella get robbed. They hit him a gun butt in the head. But you know he pick up himself and a gun in the next singing. Eh? That was the kind of fella he was. But we fellas, when we tell him, all right, well, let me go down the door and study that. So, yeah. So that was the dedication these men had to their art form. Not only that, all of the people that he associated with. And we were fortunate to have over the years. As a child, I remember falling asleep on the back seat of cars, in quaint corners and houses, in all-night classical singing sessions. Back then, it sounded like stories. You know, if you say it now, it sounds like a story. But we lived it, yeah? So as I grew older, I also became part of it. You know, become by association, satsang babs. So, Dad's intention for me was always clear, for sure. That I should be involved in whatever he was involved in, and that eventually became part of me. So it started with me personally singing simple bhajans and kirtan and that kind of thing, and then starting to learn classical singing. By then, I think he would probably traverse the country maybe hundreds of times. You know, he has been involved in so many temples around here and all over the country. So his intensity of love for music flows through me today as a musician also. You know, because I witnessed it, I lived it firsthand. So his devotion then expanded to Ramayana Satsang. We have been having Ramayana Satsang here every night since he has passed on. Well, we didn't have the first night when he died on the Thursday, but from the Friday night we had Satsang. And I must tell you that every single night, now as a Ramayana reader, I just go read Ramayana with Daddy all over the place. Sometimes I go one place and I read Ramayana 4 or 5 times consecutive. Every night here we have had a different group. That is the impact he has had. People have been reaching out to me from all over the place. From the US, from the UK, from Suriname, from Guyana, and so on. And of course Trinidad. You know, to express their condolences and to come and be part of the satsang that we are having and the local classical singing. You know, so his devotion expanded into Ramayana Satsang, of which in most cases he was the resident drummer. Him and we still have Uncle Baba who lives in Piti Valley. You know, both of them were great friends. So in his prime, I would say he was very, very much involved in the local classical singing and the cooking nights and all that kind of thing. But as he got older and he got wiser, I should say maybe, he slowly moved away from local classical singing, cooking nights, and he became involved in Ramayana and Satsang and Puja and all of these things. He became involved in many, many Satsang groups with long-standing associations with Pandit Radha Krishna Sharma, who also, the late Pandit Radha Krishna Sharma of Las Lomas, the late Pandit Nirmal Maharaj. Many people do not know, you know, they listen to Pandit Nirmal's LP record. And Dad told me, he said, you know, they did that LP right up the road there in Blue Basin. Eh? Blue Basin. He said he was supposed to go, but he didn't go. I said, well, that's all right. So he had long-standing relations with Pandit Nirmal, who he adored and he learned from. Pandit Keshav Maharaj as well too, and obviously Pandit Vishnu Maharaj, who is here with us today. Hundreds of Pandits, hundreds of groups, I would say, over the years, singers, vocalists, musicians, many people from a wide spectrum he would have had interactions with over the past 50 years. He played for countless groups and in countless engagements all across Trinidad and Tobago. And I would say that music has carried us in many amazing places. We have gone to the very heights of many places and the very lows of many places. I remember we had gone to a singing in Brazil. And in the singing in Brazil, rain is pouring and we under shade. And the man just stopped playing drum there so in the middle of the satsang. So you ask him what is happening? You know, because of the love he shared with Sukhdev Sukraj, at that point in time, Sukhdev was living the life, you know. The life was leaving his body, and some vibration maybe have reached to him that he just froze. He didn't know what to do. I remember seeing that with my own two eyes. We have many stories and things that we could share, but we ain't had time for that today. So he had played for many engagements across Trinidad and Tobago. As I said, he was also actively involved in local classical singing competitions, including those in Rienzi Complex and I think HCU as well. He played for singers such as my brother here, Ram Naresh Badal, you know, and Uncle Zilla as well. And he was recognized as a champion drummer on more than one occasion. And he gained the respect of his colleagues in the local classical singing field. He formed lifelong friendships, especially with Mahabir Nanan, or Uncle Cheda as we would say, of Las Lomas. And I remember Uncle Cheda would leave Las Lomas. I can't begin to explain to you the dedication these fellas had to this thing, you know. He would leave Las Lomas and come and pick up Dad and go satsang in the deepest parts of South. Come back here, drop him home, and then go Las Lomas. Eh? That is the kind of dedication that they had to their satsang and their practice. And we're not talking 1 day a week or one day a month, you know. Sometimes we may see 3-4 days for the week, you know. That is the kind of engagement that we have in this thing. Another time, Uncle Cheda landed up here, 2 o'clock in the morning. I was studying for exam. And he wake up Dad and tell him, I say, I want to sing. He say, all right, go ahead and sing, you play. So, I just said those were the days, you know. The kinds of interactions we had with many people, it was priceless, you know. We spent countless nights attending Ramayana Yagnas, too many to count, pujas, meeting bhaktas like ourselves, followers of classical singing, devoted Ramayana readers like Ramesa Sukhai and Ustad Mansaram Senior. Those gentlemen were repositories of knowledge. I have to call him as well too, you know, because they were instrumental in his life and my life as well. And sometimes when the satsang finish and you're going down in the car, that's when the katha starts. Yeah. You know? So these fellas have had tremendous impact on my life in particular. These experiences reflected deep bonds of loyalty and respect that has inspired many among hundreds of people across the country. And that is no joke, because as you see, there has been an outpouring of love for us every single night. And it will continue, obviously, tomorrow as we continue the process. So, as I grow older, he encouraged me to first learn Hindi. You know, he had this love for the language, but he did not understand it fully. So I was the medium now, through which he will understand it. You know? So he encouraged me to learn Hindi at the age of 10, planting seeds of knowledge, devotion, and discipline that continue to guide me today. By the time he was in his prime years of Dholak, and he was playing in satsang groups with, again, my brother Ram Naresh, our leading Ramayana reader, Anjan, Uncle Baba from Piti Valley, Cyril Joseph from Bosse, and many, many others who joined the groups. We would spend nights, involved in satsang, Ramayana Katha, devotions, and that kind of thing. The group would traverse the country doing what we saw, what you saw happening over these past couple of days. We did that for many, many people across the country. So everyone has been impacted significantly by him in some way. And even Panditji could tell you that as well. He was impacted as well. So they were great friends for many, many, many years. So as Dad got in his elder years, his thirst for knowledge started to increase. It grew stronger. He encouraged me to start reading Ramayana at the age of 15. I have the date in the Ramayana. Write it down. And as I became more proficient in Hindi and Ramayana and satsang, which I personally have been doing for 23 years now, I have also kept the tradition going and have also been trying to uplift our communities and the communities that we have in the country. He and I in particular had so many conversations on Hindu philosophy, music, culture, spirituality, and a host of various topics, and it felt like we were always in satsang. No joke. In these conversations, he would always say one thing that stood out to me, and I always kept it in mind that when he passed on, that I would say this. As a Hindu, we say that life is samsar. We have a doha, bhav sagar binipani kere, dubata kai sakal sansar. Bhav sagar, this ocean of life and misery, life and death. And in this ocean of life and death, Ramayana says, Bare bhagya manushita na pava, sura dulrab sar granthana gava, sadhara dham. I'm noticing my heart. So the purpose of life, sadhan ko dham, moksha katavar. Through sadhana, the way you live, the way you are able to perform actions in this life, it is the way you will attain ultimate liberation. So we know that in this Bhavasagara, many people, they have to come back into this world in some instances. He always said to me, he said, almost like a child innocently told me this, he said, if that it is to happen to me, that I am to be reborn into this world, that I be born a musician. That's why you see children coming up, the vasana, the qualities of the children. You don't know. You already know the qualities of the individual. So he said he always wanted to be born in the home of a musician so that he is able to inculcate and learn the practices and the discipline that is required, which he cherished his whole life. Many know him, but I have experienced him as dad, as a friend, as a musician, as an avid seeker of knowledge. In his last years, as we became more involved and deeper spiritually in our practices, he was able to pursue certain practices that he wanted to do. And I feel very proud to say, he was able to do the inner engineering program with Satguru, who he adores, and as an avid follower. He always sat in the temple doing mantra and japa mantra sadhana, puja, vidhi, everything, and meditation every single day. And that was a key part of how he lived. The National Council of Indian Culture would have recognized his contributions, as well as the Rio Claro Hindu School, Mr. Ramesh Basdev, and soon you will see a short video, Parampara Local Classical Edition, all of which has featured him and honored him as part and his contribution to culture. As part of my life's mission, from not now, from many, many years now, Dad's legacy means continuing the work that I have already been doing for the past 23 years and will continue to do till that time, in the form of satsang, local classical singing, and the preservation of these art forms. He will always remain a legend. He was a legend when he was alive, and he will always remain so. And someone who contributed continuously in all spheres of life, to art form, to dharma, to family, and to community. We pray to Sri Krishna that your journey is now seamless as he joined with the greats. Om Sat Gati, Om Shanti. Krishna Govindaya Namaha.
Thank you very much, Madanji, for sharing such profound words and memories. You know, I feel like if I was living some of the dreams too. And you know, as I joined this family, it was really a blessing to be here to share and live a dharmic life, right? Because we were always a very religious family, and you know, joining a home that was equally religious was very heartwarming for me. And you know, my dad, when he passed on, probably a couple of years before I actually got married, you know, Dad was so ingrained and dedicated to being a chef and a cook-baker, as we call it, right? And, you know, so that kind of dedication was always instilled in us. And joining our family, when you see Dad dedicated so much, I have never seen somebody so dedicated to music than Dad. And I call him Dad because he treated me just like a daughter, right, when I joined the family. And I was able to witness, even when I was on vacation, you would start to hear the drum playing. I was like, where the drum coming from? But, you know, you're not thinking, well, you know, he playing in different settings or whatever, but he would practice home. He would practice for hours. And, you know, when you sit down and listen to him, he would explain, you know, he used to play a drum till his finger burst and blood coming out. That is how dedicated he was to his craft. And no, not intentionally. It wasn't self-sabotage or anything like that. But it's just that, you know, you want to get the tune right. You know, and as a singer as well, you try your best to ensure that you get the melody as you want it. You know, you try a different hand and whatnot. So, you know, it was really very inspirational to see him at buying some time. Very inspirational, you know, to see his dedication to the craft and to see how his passion really was lived in action. So we have the short video it's just about 8 minutes.
Namaste, Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to another edition of Parampara, Echoes of Tradition. Today we're going down to Patna Village in Lego Mountain, where we'll be spending some time with the living legend, Mr. Mahadeo Mc Coon, a legendary drummer in the field of local classical Indian music. Today, he'll be giving us a live demonstration of some local classical Indian music, as well as giving us an inside look on reheading dolak skins onto dolak shells. here with the world famous Mr. Mahadeo Mc Coon, hailing from Patna village in Diego Martin. He is also very skilled and proficient in reheading dholak drums, not only dholak but pakawaj, I'm sure tabla as well.
Yeah.
Yes. So we're going to get into a little bit of how you would go about executing that art that would have been brought in by our forefathers. Well, we're hoping that you'll be able to give us a little demonstration, right?
Yes, sure.
No problem. We were talking about the inside drum.
Yes, my brother bought it as public as in the early 70s. As you could see, it had the gauchin like a local drum. Now, most of the Indian drum have just a cutting. They use a lip and just cut out the inside. But this have the gauchin like a handmade. Well, actually, I learned it from home from my father's coven. The cover, single, and then single means you just mooring or pushing down the skin within the bamboo. Doubling coven is a different technique. You have to use two bamboo. One, a firm bamboo, which they call it conhari. Conhari and conhari. They call it conhari or conhari. Right? The outer bamboo is just a strip of bamboo, just to close this, lock the skin into the next bamboo. That's called double cover. So I learned it from my father. He used to cover tasas or say beasts and whatever. So I learned it from him.
So, Mr. Mahadeo, how long have you been keeping the culture alive in the form of the drums, reheading, playing local classical dholak?
Well, actually, I grew up in the home of Tasa. My father was a Tasa man. He used to get Hussein, he used to just get Bhagwat and Ramayana and Mil Mount Vikram, just the car long time, remember the arch, everything.
Wow.
So it's full works. And then he was a professional Tasa man. His brother was the bassman, Ka was his name, and my father's name was Bharat Mc Coon. And so I grew up in it, cleaning goat skin and helping him cutting out goat skin for drum, for Tasa. My brother was a drummer too, so I fall in love with dholak really, more than the Tasa, because after the Tasa, you know, it was more drinking and lining kind of aspect and stuff.
Okay.
I tell myself, well, the dholak, I really like the dholak, and then I try to understand the singing and whatnot.
You have been one of the icons, I would say, in local classical music. Could you tell us some of the different hands that would have, you know, that would have transcended over the years while playing dholak?
Well, yes, we have different styling drumming. We have different styling hand. We have like chobhola, which is the starting, the beginners. You understand? It's like when you know start to play, you start with a chobhola, like a bhajan. Okay? And then you go into the classical like ghazal, you're going to thumri, you're going to hori, marpat, you're going to kimta. Different hands they have to play for certain songs.
I think that is so special because local classical music in Trinidad and Tobago, I think it sounds totally different, and there is, you know, that Trini influence that also resonates when you hear local classical music being sung in Trinidad as compared to any other part of the world.
Yes. We have a unique way of putting out of our own styling. Every singer have their own beat and their own styling, their own rag in singing. So you find you'll get a difference as you go along. The same tungri, a person will sing in the same tungri and next person will sing and sing it in a different rag because that is his styling.
Wow. So Uncle, all these years of history, can you tell us a little bit about your journey of music in Trinidad and Tobago?
Yeah, sure. Because after when I was about 17 years, well, I started to play drum, but I never used to go in singing and what to play. I used to play mostly at home. But a guy named Sonny Boy, when my father died, we had a little satsang at home, and so I started because my brother was the first drummer to play. Right? His name is Mahadeo Mc Coon. He lives next door. Well, I started to play for him. And he said, boy, you ought to go out and play. But I didn't know what's the different hands and what I started playing. And then I started playing for different singers, like Ibarak, Rashid, and then I started playing for his grandfather. But there is where things started to change because I started to learn the different beat and the different rags, different song, different styling. So there I started, and then Mr. Kewal Maharaj, I don't know if you ever heard about it. And then I started playing amongst drummers like Sonny Gusi, Kanta, Tika Gujram. A lot of other fellas, some of them I can't remember his name right now.
Tell us a little bit about somebody singers who you want to back on to.
The regular singers I used to play for is like Subdel, Kewal, and Lapu. But I play for others fellas, when you go out, they don't have a drummer or something, you are playing for them. They call you and play a hand. So.
There you have it. Many years of history of the Dholak legend, Mr. Mahadeo Mc Coon. Dholak, Dantal, and Harmonium. Enjoy this beautiful selection by generations of the Mc Coon family, Mr. Mahadeo Mc Coon and Grandmaster, Mr. Mahadeo Mc Coon. So, Mr. Mahadeo, Uncle Kwaki, today we are so privileged. We want to say thank you for giving us the opportunity to come and experience the hard work and dedication that you would have been able to put forward over the years in the form of Dholak playing and Dholak covering, and by extension all drum covering. Today we are so proud to present you with this Lifetime Award on behalf of the Spectrum Initiative, Liquor Store Limited, and Chatak Food Products. Kindly accept this award. Happy Indian Arrival Day.
An additional fun fact is, well, I don't know if you call it fun, but he was the first person I ever see cover a drum. I didn't even know he had to shave the skin and all those things. And he also was the first person to play dholak for me to sing. Yes. So it was a pleasure to have known that and to be in his company. So as we approach the conclusion of this part of the ceremony, we will now invite moms to do her final arati. Right, just to share, so the relatives with the immediate children and grandchildren will offer flowers first. So we'll proceed orderly, right, to your left and go around the tray, and you could pay respects to the family as well, offer flowers. So everybody, there's enough flowers for everyone if you wish to offer flowers, right? Only mom will be offering arati just to hasten the process as well, right? All the official offerings have been concluded, so it's just to offer your flowers, right? So a family member will also hand out flowers after the children and grandchildren, and his sisters and brothers offer flowers. We'll then invite persons to offer theirs as well, right? We'll have music from the group as we conclude this part.
Sound check. कोई रोए कोई गाए कैसा तेरा संसार मालिक कैसा तेरा संसार कोई समझ नहीं पाए तेरा कारोबार मालिक तेरा कारोबार कोई रोए कोई गाए कैसा तेरा संसार मालिक कैसा तेरा संसार कोई समझ नहीं पाए तेरा कारोबार मालिक कैसा तेरा संसार। उजर जाए जब रैन बसेरा पंछी सिर धुन रोए। कोई न जाने दर्द किसी का सब मतलब में कोई। अंबर नीर बहाए धरती करे पुकार मालिक कैसा तेरा संसार। कोई रोए कोई गाए कैसा तेरा संसार मालिक कैसा तेरा संसार। दिन के संग तूने रात बनाई फूलों के संग काते। जाने कहाँ किस जग बैठ कर तू ये सुख दुख बाते। पत्थर झर मुस्काए रोए वही बहार मालिक कैसा तेरा संसार। कोई रोए कोई गाए कैसा तेरा संसार मालिक कैसा तेरा संसार मालिक कैसा तेरा संसार। पिंजरे के पंछी रे तेरा दर न जाने खोए। तेरा दर्द न जाने खोए। बाहर से तू खामोश रही है भीतर भीतर रोई रे ए भीतर भीतर रोए। तेरा दर्द न जाने खोए। तेरा दर्द न जाने खोए। पिंजरे के पंछी रे कह न सके तू अपनी कहानी तेरी भी पंछी क्या जिंदगानी रे। कह न सके तू अपनी कहानी तेरी भी पंछी क्या जिंदगानी रे। विधि न तेरी कथा लिखी आंसू में कलम धुबोए। तेरा दर्द न जाने खोए। तेरा दर्द न जाने खोए। पिंजरे के पंछी रे छुप के रोने वाले रखना छिपा के दिल के छाले रे.
Now that the family, the immediate family and some friends have started, and anybody else who is desirous, please proceed. You could have a flowers and offer.
छुप के रोने वाले रखना छिपा के दिल के छाले रे. ये पत्थर का देश है पगले कोई न तेरा हो. तेरा दर्द न जाने को, तेरा दर्द न जाने को. पिंजरे के पंछी रे, पिंजरे के पंछी रे.
एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है. जग चला जाते हैं सारा इसका कौन किटाना है. एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है. गौरी गौरी कर पर जोरी, गौरी गौरी कर पर जोरी. खरक जाना है जंगल जाए जा बंदे में, जंगल जाए जा बंदे में फिर नहीं आना है. एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है. गौरी गौरी एक तमाशा, गौरी गौरी एक तमाशा. खेलों में खो खेला जंगल जाए जा बंदे में, जंगल जाए जा बंदे में फिर पछताना है. एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है. होने होने
Soundcheck. Soundcheck. Holy Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai. So, notice we're going to close the sanskar, Anteshti sanskar ceremony. So I want to ask everyone to stand at this point, please. Join your hands, put your hands together, palm hands. As we close, we say thank you, Lord, for the blessings. I will only take about a minute and a half. So I'm going to recite Eulogy, which is my prayer to him and begging the Lord to help his soul. Lord Shiva. Adi Om Rudashtakam Pradam Namami Shamishana Nirvana Rupam Vibhum Vyapakam Brahma Veda Swarupam Nijam Nirgunam Nirvikalpam Niriham Chirakasham Akashavasam Bhajeham Nirankara Mokara Molam Turiyam Gira Jnana Gotitam Isham Girisham Karalam Mahakala Kalam Kripalam Gunakara Samsara Param Natoham Tusharadri Samkasha Gauram Gambhiram Manobhuta Kuti Prabhasri Sariram Spurana Maholi Kalnolini Charu Ganga Rasan Bhala Bhala Lindhu Kante Bhujanga Chalatakundalam Brosanetram Vishalam Prasananandam Neelakantam Dayalam Mrigadesha Charmavaram Mundamalam Priyam Shankaram Sarvanatam Bhajami Prachandam Prakrishnam Pragalpam Parisham Akhandam Majjam Bhanu Koti Prakasham Talayashula Nirmolanam Shula Pane Bhajeham Bhavani Pati Bhavagamyam Kalachita Kalyanta Kalpanta Kari Sarasanja Ananda Data Purari Chirananda Samdo Mahapahari Prasiddha Prasiddha Prabhu Manmatari Nayavatumana Padarna Vrindam Bhajam Tita Loke Parivanaranam Natavata Sukham Shanti Shanparasham Prasiddha Prabhu Sarva Bhutani Vasam Najanami Yogam Japam Neva Pujam Natoham Sada Sarvada Shambhutubhyam Jarajanma Dukhavat Payamanam Prabhu Pahi Apanamami Shambhu Rudra Ashtak Midam Praptam Viprin Hartoshaye Ye Patinala Bhaktan Tesham Shambhu Prasiddhi Iti Sri Goswami Tulsidas Kritam Sri Rudra Ashtakam Sampurnam. Oh, everybody, we're going to close. We say thank you, Lord, for the time, your privilege, and blessing you have given to us. I'm reciting these mantras and praying on behalf of the deceased, perform the rites and rituals. If any mistakes were made, we seek forgiveness. मैं बार बार नमस्कार हे परमात्मा कृष्ण भगवान मैं आपकी चरणों को दंडवत करे प्रभु दया कीजिए इस जीवात्मा को सुख संपत्ति के लिए मोक्ष प्राप्त के लिए हरि ओम त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव Tvameva sarvam mama deva deva Om Shanti 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 Hari. And then silence please for behalf of the deceased one. Bole Sri Satya Sanatan Dharma Pita Ram Nam Ram Nam, Ram Nam, सत्य ही घट है. Thank you very much. We'll be leaving. We're going to carry. can't hear me each other. Yeah, I know. Just a little bit. Prabhukar, Prabhukar. You have to listen to Baba too? Wait. Come this side. Gandhi Manjul. Yeah, Gandhi Manjul. Bole the family. Om Yam Vare Mahadeo Andanam Tam Savrite Tatpalo Kanarthe Jamudi Pentao Krishnam Kiti Deepo Danam Hari Om Tatsapatani Ratiapan. Another Bob. Om Akash Tatwas like it back some. Om Akash Tattva Shanti, Vayu Tattva Shanti, Agni Tattva Shanti, Jal Tattva Shanti, Prithvi Tattva Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Ram Nam, Satya, Sab Yehi Tat hai. This is very important and you must do before you leave. Sure. Right? Vishnu Deva. Avacharam Sabditasa. So you go hear what I say now. Correct. All I want to play now? That's all right.
जाए भी अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला।